From the Oklahoma newsroom, this is an OSU update. I'm Jenny Carlson here in studio. Cowboys went to Baylor over the weekend, suffered a narrow defeat at the team that most people have at the top of the rankings. Both the NCAA selection committee and most pollsters out there have the Bears at the top. Jacob Unruh joins us on the phone to talk about that and to look ahead to this week. Jacob, a great battle between the Bears and the Cowboys. Baylor ends up winning, but interesting the way that game ended because Mike Boynton gets kicked out right before the game's over. He's frustrated, but the way his team played, I can't imagine he was that frustrated about that, was he?
No, it kind of felt like last week OSU turned a corner as a team a little bit. You know, they had the win against TCU, and then it was probably their grittiest performance of the year at Baylor on Saturday. They get down 15 points. They battle back to tie the game. They kept getting down. They would battle back to get within a shot. They just kept battling back, and it was a good sign. And then frustrations boiled over at the end when Boynton is dealing with the fact that he realizes, hey, Baylor hasn't made a field goal in the final 3.5 minutes of the game, nearly 4 minutes, and all they're doing is making free throws. He was getting a little frustrated, and it boiled over.
Yeah, and he does get kicked out. And actually, his ejection, if you will, made sort of went viral as he congratulated all the Baylor coaches, people on the bench. He got a lot of props for that, but obviously not the win that the Cowboys were looking for. Now a chance to potentially get maybe one, maybe a second, depending on how things go Saturday. But they head to K-State, Jacob, on Tuesday, and K-State not having a fantastic year. It is a road game, but there is a connection there as well. Not only a chance for the Cowboys to win, but for Isaac Likely to beat a coach that thinks pretty highly of him. What's this connection between Bruce Weber and Isaac Likely?
Yeah, so Isaac told me that Bruce was the first coach to really kind of recruit him. And, he came into Arlington and was recruited Ice pretty heavily at first. And then this last summer when Isaac went to Team USA to play for the FIBA team to try to make the team in camp, Bruce is the coach. He tells the committee, hey, I know you guys don't know who this kid is. I mean, they literally had no idea who Isaac Likely was. And he said, but he's going to make this team. And they kind of just said, yeah, okay, sure, whatever you think, Bruce, sure. And every day, especially early in the camp, they split up the group, like Group A, Group B, Group C. He's at the very bottom of Group C to start out camp, and steadily, all of a sudden he's in Group A and he's unanimous selection to the team, and he has his best summer. He comes out on fire this season, and Bruce just kind of foresaw all this coming and said, listen, I don't necessarily like to compete against this guy now, but I have to. But he's a fantastic player.
Well, and Bruce Weber's team will be charged with trying to slow him down. And as you say, Jacob, Cowboys have to be feeling better about the way they played last week, so potentially a chance to get a road win there, which are so coveted in the Big 12. Mm-hmm. If they do that, Jacob, then they come home against Texas Tech, a team they played really close for a half in Lubbock. That's going to be an interesting game, in addition to the fact that it's going to be a game fans may want to get to celebrate. Can't believe it's been this long, but they're celebrating a Final Four team, an anniversary coming around, right?
Yeah, it's 20 years ago, the Final Four team, 1995. Bryant Reeves, Big Country shattering a backboard during practice at the Final Four. Keontae Roberts, guys like that just really won over this team with Eddie Sutton leading the way, and they're going to be honored on Saturday. So it's a big day there. And you mentioned they played Tech close for a half at Lubbock to open up Big 12 play. This is a totally different team with OSU now at this point, I would say. That's Isaac Likely coming off his illness. He didn't play well at all that day. Things unraveled in the second half. I know they're 1-9 in Big 12 right now, but it seems like the team's buckling down and make sure they don't quit, and that's dangerous for a team like Tech coming to Stillwater.
Yep, 8 o'clock on Tuesday for that game at K-State. Then it is a noon tip on Saturday against Tech. Again, a day that they will honor the 1995 Final Four team. So be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at Oklahoman.com and every day in the Oklahoman.